saw a clip on Christian Harloff's show. He did a video and showed a clip of you talking about the drones and this sort of thing, and that's kind of been in the news a lot. So I was just curious if we could kind of dive
Sure.
into that. I'd love to get just your thoughts on this whole, I don't know what to call it,
Drone swarms.
the drone swarms.
They're
Okay,
called
there we
drone
go.
swarms. That's the new thing. Drone swarms.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, first of all, the president-elect has gone public and stated that he is going to give a report on the drone swarms and explain it on January 21.
Yep.
I cannot wait. If remember this way, if he comes out and says it's a mixture of drones, which are ours, and NHI, non-human and tech, well, that is technically disclosure. It could be. All right. And of course, that would be a very interesting thing. And well, it's huge.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that it's not. Well, I mean, if he says it's non-human, or he may say we got some of our drones up there, and that's what you're seeing. But there's also some other stuff up there, and we don't know what it is. I don't know. But if he tries to actually explain the whole phenomena as drones, I can't wait to hear this. Right? The internet is not going to be kind because the internet is filled with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of video of this stuff being shared all over the world. So there's that. All right. But what can I say about that? I mean, I've looked at this from 8 ways to every direction possible. I've heard the various attempts to explain it by the internet, which is kind of a giant brain where millions and millions of people combine their mental power to come up with a solution. It's like an AI machine, whatever, of its own, a little crude, but still, it is powerful, right? The internet solves problems. It figures things out. It also creates massive disinformation too, but whatever. And so the internet is feasted on this. Like, what is it? And the one thing that makes sense, which is what I put forward quite a while ago, is still pretty much holding up. In other words, and I'm not referring to offshore Iranian drone ships, what they call drone ships, launching them in, to here. I'm pretty sure it's not Chinese drones, and by Chinese drones, I mean real Chinese People's Liberation Army drones that somehow they've managed to get flying over our bases for some time, and we don't shoot them down. Okay, though I think the Chinese drone thing kind of got seized on because it was put out there. And the reason it's put out there is that I think at least one member of Congress is trying to get a bill to suppress the ability for people to buy Chinese drones on Amazon because, these are real cheap but cool drones people are buying. A lot of them are manufactured in China. You get them on Amazon, whatever. Those are Chinese drones. I don't think that's it, right? But I understand how that got thrown in there. And so all ours, well, whatever. Anyway, those explanations are not working. But the coolest thing about it is what the government has had to say. Again, I've been watching the government squirm underneath the truth embargo, trying to deal with it, address it to the extent that people come at it for more than 20 years. It's really kind of fun, right? Yeah. It's kind of a comic opera in a way. And so this latest thing that's been going on for 2 years, by the way, and I've got the articles on my archive to prove it, really got in their face. For the last 2 years, there have been flyovers of something or another over military facilities and bases and ships, none of which are being shot down, right? But it didn't really get to the point where it was that big a deal. The Chinese spy balloon that kind of sprung a leak and got down into the airways, that was a big deal, and we had to go out and shoot that down. It cost $1 million. But that's an example of something flying around that was forced on their attention. But that was a balloon, still very embarrassing. And then couple of months ago, things just escalated. Whomp. More stuff, more in the sky, over more places, and that got the attention of the media to the point where they were going to force the issue. And so they dutifully assembled in briefing rooms over at the DoD in front of several people, Kirby being one of them, one of the key spokespeople. And I think it even came up in the White House, though not much comes up there these days. And so the government, after some time, had to respond to the situation, right?
Yeah.
And here's the response. This is how it went. This will go down in history. It happened several times, but I refer to one. It was, I think it was a female journalist, God bless her, and she asked Kirby, "What's going on here? Drone swarms." Okay, good. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, whose are they? Ours? No. Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right. Well, then the next question is, well, are they another country's? No. That's extremely interesting. All right. So do you know what's happening? I don't know. Now, history is going to feast on this one. It's going to be disassembled and analyzed and reviewed for the next couple of 100 years, because it's one of the great moments of illogic and dissembling that any democracy, I think, has ever done. Because we are a democracy. If we were a dictatorship, it wouldn't matter. Nobody's going to challenge it. You can say whatever the hell you want, right?
Sure.
But we are a democracy. We have a free press, and here it is. The first question. They're drones. We made clear they're drones. Okay. Are they ours? No. Okay. Could they have said yes? Because they are ours. Could they have said yes? They could have. But then the next question is, why have we been flying our own drones, different sizes, some even the size of cars, over military facilities and other sensitive facilities for 2 years? Nobody is told about it. Hasn't been said. Nothing was brought out. Why are we doing that? And there is no answer for that. There is no answer that wouldn't have the entire all the journalists in that room literally falling off their chairs laughing. And so they could not say they're ours. They had to say they're not ours. Okay, good. Then the next question is even tougher. Well, are they another nation's? Yeah. They can't say they are. They can't say they're another nation's. And they're saying, again, that these drones of various sizes have been flying over our facilities, around our ships, military bases, sensitive areas, and we've done nothing. Nothing. We don't shoot them down or use electronic devices to disable them. We don't send up really, except on a very rare occasion, a helicopter up there. Kind of no. We just let it happen. And some of those nations could be China or Russia or whatever. So they can't say they're another nation. They have to say no. Well, this is a problem. They cannot. How can they say it's not another nation? That's proving a negative. There's no way they could know that. Right? There is simply no way that they could know it's not another nation if it's not ours. And so that statement is completely fallacious. Okay?
Sure.
And then the last question is, well, then what's going on? And the answer is we don't know, which is not as tough as the other two questions, except that they have just stated that there are craft in our airspace that are particularly focusing on sensitive facilities of our military and so forth, also some nuclear facilities. And we're not shooting them down, right? But we don't know where they are. All of this is utter insanity. It is kind of a confession that you get from somebody who, under a lot of pressure, just says, you know, I am certifiably insane. I'm so sorry. I can't really respond because I am actually insane, and I need to be taken to a nice place where I can get treatment and not harm myself. I mean, literally, that was the situation that Kirby was in. Okay, now, of all of the explanations that kind of emerged out of the internet that had a chance of maybe explaining what the hell's going on, it took a while. It took about a month and a half into this thing exploding. I had not heard this before. It was the first time it came to my attention, and I have to say I admired it. I'm going, the internet is a giant brain, and this is pretty good. And what was it? Okay? In other words, what was this explanation that was going to finally allow us to take a breath and breathe out and relax? Well, it was
Yeah.
this, that the United States is having to launch a huge number of drones, highly sophisticated, because we do have incredibly sophisticated drones that have never been seen. It's extremely classified work because drones are a big deal now. They're doing everything they can to make them sophisticated, whatever. If they can make them invisible, they make them invisible. The future of war is drones, whatever. Okay, that we're flying these all over in parts of the country because they are looking for the nuclear traces using very sophisticated equipment of what we suspect could be a weapon of mass destruction smuggled into the United States. This is what the internet came up with. And I'm going, okay, that's good. That's it might explain it. Okay. And I'm going, so it's not drones of some origin we don't know. It is our drones. There's a weapon of mass destruction they're looking for, and it could be anywhere. It could be in your city. It could be in Washington, New York. Pick a city. So just relax and don't bother us anymore. Okay. Now I understand the government's not saying this. This is what the internet is saying the government should acknowledge.
Sure.
And I'm going, nice try. Not a chance in hell that. And in fact, some government spokesman did have to say, no, that is not. There's not a weapon of mass destruction. Okay. So the only explanation that works, and nobody has debunked this, right, is this: we have non-human events taking place. Something in the sky. If it's piloted by a non-human, it's not a drone. But if it's not piloted, it's a drone. Whatever. But it also could be something else. These balls of light and plasma-like things that have been turning up off and on forever, going all the way back to the Foo Fighters in World War II, where balls of light were following planes around, and they had no idea what they were. Maybe they did. If, in fact, they did get a crash from 1933 that got in their hands prior to the war with the help of the Vatican or whatever, which is actually a legitimate area that's being looked at, then some people in our government may have known that, yeah, apparently there's some non-human stuff out there, but we're fighting a war here. And so we're not going to get into it. They didn't bother. They just followed the planes around. So it goes all the way back to there. But orbs, or whatever you want to call them, balls of light and others, but there's other stuff up there that is very much not like any drone that we know, have been going on for some time. What's happening is the amount of it. They're up there for hours. They're in groups of 2, 5, 8, 16, 20. They're moving in fleets. They're different places. Okay. So I think we can rule out ball lightning, fireworks, the classic flares, right? They cannot explain it. They could never explain this stuff. And so that is non-human phenomena that's been going on aggressively, right? That even swarmed around our ships going back over 2 years. And that's not human. Yeah. And they have escalated. They have simply escalated the phenomena for their reason. This is not casual, and we can talk about that. But that is a non-human situation that has really challenged the United States government big time.